You're listening to the 702 Gaming Podcast, episode 16. You might be watching it on YouTube. You might be listening to it on an app. You might be in the room behind me somewhere listening to us talk.
That's creepy.
I don't know. There, we have a green screen behind both of us, so who knows who's back there.
I got chills like running up my spine right now.
The horror game episode is coming up soon, so we'll talk about scary stuff later.
Oh yeah, I'm out.
Oh, you're out? Not a scary game guy?
No, not particularly.
All right, we'll make you. But huge shout out to the Schlitzie. So this is a buddy of ours that he does crossplay. He's an artist. He draws. He does crossplay or cosplay. And does some really cool stuff. He actually drew up our original logo with the hat. So if you guys remember that one, and now he got us this the one with the skull with the hat that you're looking at probably right now. And then I was able to take that and create an intro. So we just want to say thank you so much to the Schlitzie.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. I love the new branding we have going on. It's pretty nice.
I know.
The intros and everything, rocking it.
If this thing keeps going, I'd really like to come out with shirts and hats and things like that. If not just for us, I mean, wouldn't it be cool?
That skull, the one you're talking about, putting that on a hat, and then, I mean, you can have whatever color, because I'm sure it's pretty easy just to change the color of that.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty dope. I see you wearing it. I see it happening.
I'm not wearing a hat tonight, but it's because I need that new hat. We're going to talk today about crossplay in games and the good and the bad about what that brings. Do you have any good examples, Josh?
Well, I'm gonna kind of fall back on Destiny. My main game. Recently came out with crossplay, or it hit with this new season, and now we're a little ways into it. I think it's kind of broken up into two pools, if you will. The PvE content and the PvP content, and like the pros and cons of those. I guess start with the PvE. It's really,
we're talking Destiny 2.
Right, Destiny 2 with recent crossplay with this season, and the way I've seen it, kind of, I guess, live, if you will, if I explain that right, kind of while this current season is going on, my personal take on seeing it kind of play out. The PvE aspects and the matchmaking are faster and more efficient. You don't have to wait so long. The player base is obviously bigger by design. And I think it could help their internal LFG, or just maybe the game LFG, because I mean, most of that hard content is 6 players, so it's kind of hard. And it's not like they're all match made. A lot of people don't understand that Destiny, and for as long as it's been out, the raids and stuff at 6 players are not matchmaking. You don't just get randos without mics. You can't do that content in that manner. So it really, I mean, it's even boasted my clan. Probably 2 or 3 PlayStation guys and 2 or 3 Xbox guys came over, and just friends of friends, really, and their friends tell their friends, and their friends tell their friends.
So you're playing on the PC, but you got both Xbox and PlayStation players now in your clan?
Correct.
Cool.
So
that's cool. That's a good.
Right. So we've added 5 or 6 to the roster, even though this season only, we're like 2 or 3 weeks in. And so that's pretty, that's huge for the whole player base, no matter what they do in general. So big ups there.
Awesome.
PvP bucket, I think sometimes gets a bad rap for crossplay because aim assist, versus mouse and keyboard. I know Jason's listening, and you hate to probably already try to weigh in right now, but you can't because you're not here.
You aren't here.
Can't defend yourself. But I didn't find it to be too bad. like in Destiny per se. I know I don't see it. I just don't see it being that huge of a gap. So I guess I don't cry that a lot or say that a lot, if you will. Um, but I think it had a huge upside with the crossplay coming into the very, very end game content. And that's like the Trials of Osiris, which is just 3-on-3 elimination, right? And the first week was pretty good, and I think this week hasn't been bad either. It's just because you have the option now to match, and I think it forces you actually. Like you are just in the crossplay pool. I don't think you can turn it off.
Okay.
So and for being in a super competitive mode, I found that kind of odd. But last week and like this week, I don't see it vastly affecting things or aim assist. I mean, if you're on controller and you still have to know how to use it. You'd be surprised how many people aim assist over aim, take they overcorrect and pull off instead of just like letting it stick and hold a beam. And that's the same thing as a mouse does. You go over and stop. So I don't. Anyway.
Yeah. Either way is it still takes skill either way.
Yeah. But to get back to the original thing, I mean, man, I love crossplay. Here to stay. I think we've talked about it previously, and just like my take was like, get on it or get left behind. Because
have you seen waiting times like queues for the multiplayer matches decrease, or have you not really noticed? Was it never a problem in the first place?
It's a pretty good player base overall. I think it is quicker for like the playlist activities, which are like your strikes and your like most of the match-made stuff are there. You can just go into the the control Crucible, the PvP content, probably even in. So it's weird because they have trials, but they have elimination survival, which is supposed to be more of a sweat zone, if you will, but that has like a freelance in it, and so that's populated, and that goes pretty fast. So
okay,
the overall player base, I think it probably boasts potential for like clan growth, and then doing some of the large player activity, like large number of player activities, the raids and basically stuff like that have a better and you don't have to LFG so much, or even that LFG is getting bigger though, so it's a bigger pool to pull from because everybody can play with everybody now.
Yeah,
it just makes sense.
Yeah, I think my experience with crossplay has been in a couple different games, but one of the ones I play the most right now is Overwatch, and they recently added crossplay to the game. It didn't have it previously. And one of the upsides I would say is finding not just matches against other teams faster, but a variety of teams that you come across. So what we were running into is you would play a match, you'd win or lose, whatever, and then the next round you'd be searching for a team, maybe 1-2 minutes searching for a team, and then boop, it's the same exact team you're fighting against. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, because say you lost, you can get like redemption on the next one, or if you beat them, they get a chance to try and beat you. So it wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but it definitely gave more variety to the gameplay, because when you play the same against the same teams over and over on Overwatch, typically what characters they're going to pick, how they play. You learn what they were doing, and if you play them over and over all night, you just kind of figure out how they do it, and then you're able to take them out. Where when there's that variety, they keep you guessing. And it definitely has shortened queue times for finding a match. There'd be every once in a while just that night that, man, these queue times are killing us. It's just taking too long. But since they added just that's what we always say. We shut them all down.
Yeah.
Put everyone to bed.
Your elo is too high.
Yeah, it's hard being on top, but. But that's another upside, is just the shortened queue times, the variety of players. The downside I would say is, so with Overwatch, they put you in a cross-play pool, but it's not with PC players. It says that you're in a cross play pool with console players only. So that means Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox.
Oh,
So
okay.
I turn to try and keep it fair, I guess, because it's just the shooter. There's no PvE really in Overwatch besides some random events. Um, they wanted to keep it fair, I guess. There is a setting that you can turn off on the Xbox to say no, I don't want to do crossplay. So I tried it out, but then once that puts you into a pool of Xbox only players,
Right.
it won't even find someone that's playing normally that's on Xbox and bring them over to you. It'll only find people that have also turned that off. So most people aren't going into their settings and turning that off and playing Overwatch the same time I'm playing. So it can't find anybody. So we tried that and it just doesn't work. So we went back to the crossplay and it's all good. You feel bad for, I think, the Nintendo Switch people because you can kind of tell on their movement that they aren't as smooth. Now, I'm not saying that everyone that's playing a Switch can't play
Right.
Overwatch. I'm just saying it's like that jump, maybe not as big of a jump, but it's like the jump from a controller to a mouse and keyboard where there is a little bit of an advantage. And if you're already good at a game, that just is exaggerated by what you're using. That's not to say everyone with mouse and keyboard can beat everyone with a controller, or that I could beat a Nintendo Switch player all day, but you can tell the way they're moving is a little more left, right, up, down.
Yeah.
They aren't jumping and doing the spins and everything. I noticed
Yeah.
a lot of players on PlayStation are really good at Overwatch, like good at just just the general movement in the
There's
game.
there I'll tell you what. There's something to be said about like some of the PvP player base that plays on PlayStation that like it's just different. Like if you want like X I don't know why, it's just like the better console play like they're on PlayStation. The better
Yeah.
PvP they use that controller. That's
Yeah.
damn it, Jason, he's fucking mother.
Oh, he's not even
I
here and he's
know it
still
is.
winning.
I know. Uh,
I think a lot of it might be based on maybe that I don't know if this is even correct in saying it. So if you're listening or watching this, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments or curse me out, whatever you got to do, or just tell us your general thoughts on crossplay. Like, do you like crossplay? Have you ran into things that just irritate you about crossplay? But tell me if I'm wrong on this. I would feel like maybe PlayStation's been around longer, and so you got more older people on PlayStation, so you have more adults playing. We feel like when we play Overwatch during the day, it's probably younger people that aren't at work, aren't dealing with family stuff. But then, like us, that are older, when you're playing in the middle of the night because the rest of the family's asleep, it's generally older people that you're playing against. So maybe it's because PlayStation has a more mature player base overall. They're better because we noticed that at night people play a lot better than during the day.
it's just
And the only thing we can attribute to that is maturity or just
it.
skill
No, because
with age.
I'll tell you. I think that's just it ends up on that game schedule. So I can say that's definitely the case because like in game trials for Destiny, you see it as the weekend because it starts on Friday and ends on Tuesday's reset. So it's not all week. It's only like it's basically that's 4 days. But um, as the weekend progresses, the matches get a little sweatier, a little tougher, a little closer, right? And then like getting to 7 wins, you got to get. And if you guys listeners don't understand that game mode, it's 3v3 elimination. You have to get 7 wins in a row to go flawless and like get the accolades and get the loot and to go to the lighthouse and all that. That's hard to do because
It's tough.
as you climb that ladder, you get into tougher matches, and then as
Yeah.
the weekend progresses and you get into Saturday, like
Everyone's at
after
the top of their
Saturday
ladders fighting.
afternoon to evening, bro, the sweats are out. Okay, the sweat
Just smells like body odor in that
yeah,
game. Just
like
sweats.
Friday nights aren't too bad. I mean, Friday night people IRL, they go out, hang out, do things, great, fantastic. But Saturday night, it's a sweat fest, and so it checks out. I mean, you get a bigger player base. It's maybe it's just our era now is just older, still playing games. Like our parents wouldn't do that. I wonder what that statistic is. How many because I don't.
Well, what are we gonna do when we're all arthritis out? And
Oh,
how are we gonna do this, man?
I'll still game. I don't. Can't stop, won't stop.
Yep. Sweaty for life.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, let us know in the comments if you guys agree with us or if we are stupid.
I mean,
let's talk about.
I don't want to be stupid. Keep your comments
They
to
can
yourself.
tell me, it's fine. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Say something
It will
nice
hurt
or
our
don't
feelings.
say anything at all.
That's right. Listen to your parents. Let's talk about some memories growing up, as far as just something that kind of is near and dear to your heart, or just something you really look back on fondly on gaming that you just always remember. I'll start off with sort of two sides to the same coin of gaming. One is playing with my friends and getting together, and just the memories of being with them, not just in the game but in the same room, which you rarely get much of that these days. But our biggest, or maybe the first time we really got into that was when we were teenagers. Warcraft 2 by Blizzard. It's a real-time strategy game. I know it's a little older, so maybe some people listening don't know what it is. But before World of Warcraft, there was just Warcraft.
Right.
Warcraft 2 specifically, we had a friend in the Meadows Mall parking lot, actually, one of those brick buildings down there down by your old house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just down the road, man. Little did we know we'd be doing a podcast, 20 years later. So they owned an architectural firm down there, and so they had all these really high-end computers in there for their architecture, for their CAD and all their drawings. So they let us go in there, a group of us friends. I think there would be at least 4 of us. I think we've gotten to maybe 6 of us total. And they would unlock the doors for us at night, and we would go in there, and we all had Warcraft 2 downloaded on all the computers, and they're on LAN. And we would just do 2 teams or a free-for-all and just go at it all night until the secretary came in to work the next morning. And she'd come in, and I'd have to log off of her computer and let her get back to work.
Oh my god, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my
And we did
gosh.
that for quite a while. Man, it was such a good time. That game is so good. It's still so good. And just being with your friends and all that is just huge memories for me. And then on the other side of the coin, we did the same thing with Halo, but I have a lot of good memories of me being a teenager where I was home alone. I didn't have anyone, this is back in beeper days. So I wasn't sitting there on the, on on Discord or anything like that. This is a long time ago. But so I'd just be sitting there at night before bed, and I would pop in Halo 1 and just go through the campaign just over and over. And I just have such great memories of that game. Just my kind of wind down game before bed as a teenager.
That's awesome.
And it's awesome. I'd always, it's kind of weird, but I'd eat sharp cheddar cheese and Coca-Cola.
Hey. Sounds
Goes
like
good together.
I'll have some right now.
Yeah. I'd snack on that, and I'd
Whip me up a
play
snack.
What do you remember growing up as something that
Oh man.
really stuck with you?
I guess I feel like my first instinct is like Christmas times and opening like Nintendo stuff, like getting the Super Scope when that came out. I'm pretty sure that's one of the few things that like we got as a family, right? Because at the time there was like 5 of us in the house. Um, Unboxing that, and then playing with that, and it was like everybody played with it, Christmas morning. So those gaming times were great for me, and I'll do a shout out for Jason again. Mortal Kombat was another one that kind of was like a Christmas gift game, and like everybody would play. We were all doing matches, like even mom and dad were going at it. So,
So did you have that on Sega or Nintendo?
uh, Mortal Kombat,
Yeah.
the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right on. Isn't that the one that they wouldn't allow them to do the blood?
I,
It was on Nintendo, I think.
I remember there
Nintendo was
being
like, this is a little
fatalities,
too
or it was
adult.
like it was maybe.
I think it might have been like dry fatalities, or maybe they changed the color or something, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know.
Jason will know.
That's for
Jason,
him.
hit us up in the
Yeah,
comments.
yeah, he'd have to let us know. I'm not the buff on that or anything. But like in you're talking about going to the, I guess, architectural building and doing the LAN part on their computers. Like, it made me think of when we were in high school and we went to Mary Kay's, and that was over by the Q Club, down the street from like our high school. And it was just, and we would go there in a pack, right? 5, 6, 7 of us, and just take over that arcade. So those are amazing memories, and we would stay there all night, like be tired for class the next day. They had, and it was playing arcade games more or less. Wasn't really into, but they had Warcraft there and WoW and stuff on those computers. They ended up taking over that arcade. It was kind of sad. I don't know, and even the Q Club in the area. I guess that's kind of a game. Pool's a game, but not super relevant. We're talking about video games per se.
So let me ask you about the Christmas morning.
Yeah.
Did you guys guess what you got, or did you ask your parents before? Did you feel like you knew, or when you opened it, was there a time where you just lost your mind?
I think we were young enough to not like really know what it was. My older brother Steve might have. I don't think I was always. I wasn't too proddy about, or like, I didn't ask like what it was on Christmas, but my parents also did a pretty good job of not putting them out into the Christmas morning. So,
Okay.
we would have got into them anyway. And I mean, we had presents under the tree and just not a ton. So it was kind of like, we never think we'd get it, but then, we got it, and we did lose our minds. And probably my mom probably has pictures. I don't know, maybe. But, we didn't get a lot of that typically through the year. So getting just anything for the console or just, to play, I mean,
It was a big deal, yeah.
Yeah, especially like the Super Nintendo era. I think that's a big one, because a lot of consoles started hitting homes a little more affordable, and even for my family, because I mean, we had a roof over our head and food. Don't get me wrong. I think it was just a big family and not had enough money to go around to be just buying video games, and our parents didn't really understand games like we do, or have the passion for them, and that, I guess, that dates us now.
Right. We have kids ourselves, so when we understand when they're playing a game, we understand what they're into or what they should or shouldn't play.
Yeah.
Our parents had no idea.
Born with a controller in their hand, or iPhone, if you will. They were born with in the womb. Watch, the next thing is be like, we're just gonna put a little TV in the womb. Let your kid, been watching TV since I was 2 weeks old. Yeah, okay. That's a bit extreme.
Yeah, a funny story going back on the Warcraft 2. I remember, speaking of our parents not fully understanding games and stuff, I had to go ask my parents if I could buy it, and it was at Costco. The Costco down on MLK way back in the day. And
gotcha.
I took the box and I went up to my parents and I was like, hey, I really been wanting this game. Can I get it? And my mom's like, oh my gosh, that sounds like a horrible game. I don't think you should play that. And then she took it to my dad, and my dad said, honey, I think you're thinking of witchcraft. This is Warcraft. They let me buy it. So
really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
So
I mean,
I'm cool with that.
there you
I
go.
love that game, man. I would play it all the time. Create your own maps and everything. It was just, I just always remember my dad saying that. I think you're thinking of witchcraft.
Yeah, I
So
don't. I never really played that, so I don't. I don't get into that one too much.
my dad was opposed to witches, not war, I guess.
Yeah, he was like, whatever.
Yeah, cool.
He was like,
Thanks,
that
Dad.
sounds better, more
Yes.
age,
Well, I
more
appreciate it.
age appropriate, right?
Yeah. I'm sure that's what he was thinking, but I do appreciate him letting me buy that because we got to go play all-nighters all the time
Yeah, I
as a
don't.
teenager.
I don't. We didn't really have too much ratings. There wasn't really a lot of ratings on games.
Yeah.
Like you said, it
You
took a while for them to
and the
start
box art
censoring.
was never really representative of the game because graphics were so far behind. So you would see these elaborate uh, box arts and just like I'm sure the parents were like, "Oh my gosh." That Dad, it's 6 pixels as a sword, like stabbing a square, so don't worry too much.
Yeah, and it's like 2 pixels of blood squirt. Come on, relax.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think like
There's no ray tracing effects glimmering off of that pixel
right.
of blood.
I don't think did Doom do that? Did Doom splat the screen?
Oh, like splatter up on
Yeah,
the
like
So that was a game, yeah, it was a little too I don't think I played it until later as a teenager. Because it was violent for the time, right?
yeah.
When you watch it now, it's a little silly, but the original Doom. But it does seem like some of those games back then did splatter to kind of show you that you were either being damaged or that you had just
It
took
was
someone out.
it was like a depth thing or something to help you make it like immersion and make it feel better. And now that I said bringing up Doom and talking about that, it kind of triggered another memory. So
What's that?
my stepdad Rick, he played the out of Doom, like crazy. Like he'd be on there for like 3 days straight.
Man.
Yeah, he was insane. Like when we got this must have been like my senior year of high school, and then he got a computer somehow from somebody, I don't remember, but then he like started playing Doom, and then he liked it, and I had never seen him ever like really play games. And at this point, I'm in high school, and my brother Steve, he's 5 years older. We're already like we beat like a game a day at this point.
Right.
He's never
You're
really
already-
showed. He never
you're
really.
already in
He
deep.
never really showed interest. But he was just in that little spare room on that computer, and he was smashing Doom. I was like,
What's he doing is he still doing that to this day?
no, he passed away a long time ago. So,
Oh, okay.
but no, but like that's I was like, he just fell into that one for some reason. So, I guess there's a game for everybody. You
Yeah.
don't necessarily have to.
Doom was his thing.
Yeah, he tried to play, like we would try to get him to play SOCOM when that first came out, the very first SOCOM, and you were supposed to talk to the mic and have the players do, your teammates do things, and he was like, know this is stupid. He would give up. But then he found Doom. I was just crazy. Didn't expect it.
That's cool. I mean, it's a good game, especially the newest Doom. If you haven't tried it, it's probably one of the best single-player first-person shooters in recent memory.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Shameless plug for Doom.
Yeah. Yeah, try it out. On Game Pass.
There it is.
It's on Game Pass since Microsoft bought out Bethesda, so
Is it really a Game Pass? Like,
it really is. All the Dooms are on Game Pass. Yeah. Yep. So if you have a Doom, if you're feeling doomy, just go to Game
gosh.
Pass on PC or Xbox.
That's so good. I don't know that. I promise if you're listening or watching that these are organic segues into the Game Pass. Like it's just happening.
This is not made up.
It's not. I don't. It just takes like some kind of like small reference, and then Jacob's like,
I'm just
oh,
sucked
yeah.
back in.
Yeah. Oh, Game Pass.
Yes. we've gotten some feedback on maybe a scary game episode, maybe a Minecraft episode. So we'll get working on those. I think that's some good subjects. So
You guys really
uh,
have to talk
keep an
me
ear out.
into the horror
Which
one,
one?
into the horror
Okay,
one. But I'm not my. I like Minecraft. I've seen my
you can
son
get
play
down on
it.
some.
I see.
Okay, all right.
We
Yeah,
can talk
we'll have
about
to.
you might have to do slash Valheim in there because Valheim to me is more
Is Minecrafty?
is a little old adulter Minecraft. I guess it's
Okay,
just
I don't.
maybe the survival building type of game.
Okay,
Hey, it sucked me in, man.
I like it. Yeah, again, thanks again, Schlitzie, for the logo. And if you're watching, or actually if you're listening to this on an app, go ahead and go to YouTube and check us out, 702 Gaming on YouTube or Twitter at 702 Gaming. You will see our new logo, and the new intro video is really cool. And speaking of the new intro, we also have a new outro, which you are about to see right now. We're out of here.